What is up, everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Camera Junkie livestream. My name's Luis, also known as Mr. Camera Junkie, where I remind you, as always, to upgrade your skills before your gear. Now, if it's your first time here, welcome. Please be sure to introduce yourself into the chat so you can get the nice Camera Junkie crew welcome. And as the tradition goes around here, the first thing that we always do is to go check out to see who are the first members of the crew hanging out in the chat. So let's go ahead and do that. And right off the bat, we have Scott Rogers saying hi to the crew. He's also saying, let the games begin. Well, the games have begun if you are doing the, what is it? The Easter egg hunt. So those items are available. And we also have Mookie in the house, says, hello, let the fun and information begin. So let's get into it. Well, today, oh, I didn't even get into that scene because this is the scene for the comments, but see, even the pros, we kind of get excited and get ahead of ourselves, but let's go ahead and do that. Well, today I switched things up because we're always talking about content creators and what's the best camera to buy, which is the best camera to get. And in all sincerity, the cameras that are in our devices and our phones are just punching way above the weight that right now there's really no excuse to become a content creator if that's something that you want to do, because the camera or the equipment should be the least limiting factor in this entire aspect. And the reason why I say that is because with the power of eCam and just your simple device, you can get an image like the one that you're looking at right now. So right now I am connected to my iPhone 16 Pro Max, and this is the image that we're getting directly out of NDI. And now it does have even higher resolutions of 4K, but the way that I have it set up here so that I can have multiple iPhones connected is through the Road Capture application, which gives you the ability to turn on an NDI feed, and then eCam sees it automatically, and I'm able to utilize this camera as my main camera. Now, you can still have your audio set up if you want, and I recommend, because bad audio is unwatchable, as I always say. But this is the type of look that you can get, and even if you want to go into multiple cameras, you have the ability to do that as well, because what we're looking at now is my iPhone 17 Pro, and this is just the camera that you're the look that you're getting straight out of the camera. And I'm using the same application, the Rode NDI, or the Rode Capture app with the NDI, which is actually the same one that I've all been using for the beginning shot or the intro shot to this live stream, which is the iPhone that I have in the back. I forgot that that scene was muted, so you guys weren't hearing what I was saying. But you see, like, this is the shot. So this is my iPhone 11 Pro, right? An older iPhone, but this is the 11 Pro hanging out in the back. Before, it used to be the iPhone XR, but as you just heard me mention, I did get the iPhone 17 Pro here, and because of it, I will be trading in my iPhone XR that I've had here as part of my set for a long time. So now these are my two active phones, my first shot, this shot here, and these are my active phones. These are the ones that I use. So right now I have them in do not disturb mode so that I can do this live stream, but they're giving me simple clean feeds, 1080, I believe 1080 60, but it could be 1080 30. Regardless, it looks this good, and I'm really impressed with it. Just a couple of tweaks in eCam. I feel that the iPhone's colors are a bit too saturated, so I knocked those down about 5 points, and that's about it. Like, I add some gamma for contrast, and this is the look that you're getting straight out of the camera, which is very, very impressive. Now, the Road Capture NDI is working phenomenal, especially if you have more than one camera that you want to connect. So if you're like me and you've been an Apple fanboy and you have a couple of extra devices and you don't want to utilize your main device like I am right now, I recommend, if you have one of these, just even an iPhone XR hanging out in a drawer somewhere because it was your older phone or your backup and you're not really utilizing it, you can put this to good use in your setup right away and have it as a permanent fixture, and you could just set it and forget it. Now, the one in the back over here that Let me see if I could. Right there that I'm touching, that right there, as you can see, has a red cable connected to it because the iPhone XR I always just had plugged up. So I just had it there, and through the active, what do they call it? The oh my god, I'm running a blank on it. The Apple version of the NDI with the iPhones, the continuity camera. I'm gonna run a blank here. So you have the ability to connect it through continuity camera as well. And like I said, it's the same thing. You just set it and forget it. And whenever you open up, excuse me, whenever you open up your application to utilize it, whether it's a Zoom meeting, Ecamm, however it is that you're using it, you'll be able to just tap into it and then it will just activate through continuity camera. But I think that I'm getting a much better look and colorization of this lens and sensor through the Rode app, and that's just me. But I'm a camera junkie, so I'm a bit picky. But at the same time, it really doesn't matter what iOS system your iPhone is using, because this one doesn't have the ability to be on the latest software. Let me see which is the one that it's on, because I forgot. I wouldn't be surprised if it's an 18. Yeah, iOS version 18.72. So this is like 2 or 3 versions backwards. Okay, so instead of trying to rely on Apple's software to actually connect to it, you still have the ability to download the application, download the Rode capture app, and then use it as another NDI camera. In all sincerity, I can just turn it on right now and then use it as like a behind the scenes camera as well. So let me demonstrate that. Okay, I'm gonna hit P for producer mode. There we go. And right here, actually, let me see what you guys are saying. Sanskar Mandar Kar. I think I said that correctly. He's saying hello. Welcome to the stream. We got Mr. Moderator Paul in the house saying what's up. Just checking the chat as well. Everybody's saying what's up to each other. Okay. So let me go back to that scene. This is the producer mode. And what this does is that it allows me to switch to basically any camera on the fly. So let me go ahead and show you. Nope, that's the wrong window. This window. There we go. This is the behind the scenes, right? Excuse me. And any of these cameras that are connected to it, I'm able to click onto it just that easily. So I'll be able to switch from the first to the second here, right? And the one in the back. And the reason why I did that is just to show you how easily this gets added. So actually, let me go to all sources over here, right? And what I'm going to do is right here on the fly, I'm going to open up the Rode Capture app. As soon as it connects, the NDI should be up and running. Let me make sure that it's on. Yep. And bam, you see it says click to start. And it just automatically recognizes it. And now it's in there. So now I can click onto it and that becomes the main camera. So now I just added a 4th iPhone camera to the mix, and if I wanted to, I can just do it like vlog style, literally, and just hand hold it, and I'm still utilizing all of the extra audio, but it gives it a little bit more of an authentic feel. And you never know, this could be something that you want to utilize in making content this way, on the fly and through the NDI, whether you're live streaming or just recording to your computer with Ecamm. This is what you can use. So this is actually a really cool idea now that I think about it, because if I wanted to get an iPhone image, right? If I wanted to get a shot like this and make it part of my video, I would most likely be connecting a microphone to the iPhone. Then I'd be recording on the iPhone. Then I'd be transferring that via AirDrop and then throwing that onto my timeline, which works. You understand? It's not a bad workflow, but I would still be relying on the low quality microphone that, or not low quality, but lower quality than an SM7B. So right now with this setup, what I'm able to do is to get the image, right? But at the same time, I'm getting the noise cancellation of my crisp software. I'm getting all the benefits of the highest quality audio, and I'm able to record with this on the fly. So this just unlocks something for me as I'm showing you guys and explaining everything, that to get the best quality iPhone image with the best audio, you should still be using Ecamm and NDI, because this is just like a new unlock here. Because yeah, the music is in the mix, like everything is added to it. So this is like truly a way of unlocking content without having to edit. And as soon as you're done with the content, you're ready to go. So right now, if you're watching this, Ecamm is still available right now until the 2nd of December at its Cyber Monday deal, and it's up to 40% off the annual pass for new users. So if you've been waiting to get into the Ecamm game, this is the time to do it. And look at how easy it is that you can go from a floating camera to a main camera, and I'm using it all on iPhones, right? I'm able to switch off to a secondary angle, and because I have them all set up as camera A, B, so on and so forth, they're all being recorded individually as ISO images, so their own files, and then I'll be able to manipulate the clean feeds without the overlays and everything like that in post production if I wanted to. So nothing changes with Ecamm as far as the way you'd be utilizing it. So I think this is just super convenient, and this is from someone who has the ability to connect basically whichever camera that I want, but at the same time I have the ability to make it very, very easy. And if you're starting out, like I said, the best camera is most likely already in your pocket. Yeah. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. Oh man, I'm still in live demo mode. Here we are. Okay. Mookie's got a suggestion here. He says, I spotted the film canister on top of or near the arms holding some of those cams. I think I've been wrong before. You could be right, you could be wrong, but that comment does not allow me to know exactly what you're talking about, what area, because I got arms and stuff like that everywhere. So you have to be a little bit more specific. All right. Excuse me. But I'm really impressed with this image. Like, this is an iPhone. Like, I see nothing wrong with it. And you understand? And this is the whole thing. We're not using none of the fake bokeh, but with the iPhone actually, focusing on my face or the closest thing nearest to the camera, like my lenses in the back and everything, they're not bokehized completely, but they have a nice little blur to them where they're not super hyper sharp, right? That they're there. And if I were to I'm gonna do it right now to demonstrate. If I step away from the camera and it doesn't have a face to lock onto, it will go to the back and you will see how sharp it could be, right? But just to give the demonstration, and when I walk back, you'll see that transition. See? Like, this is really impressive, and this is stuff that honestly, off of my iPhone 11 Pro, which is the one that I just basically upgraded from for these new phones, it's pretty impressive because this is a lot more than we were getting back then. And I know it's been a while, but Mookie also says there's a similar connection with Ecamm using Android devices, or is it iOS thing only? No, the continuity camera is the only thing that's iOS. But the same application, the Road Capture, I believe is available for Android. And before I put my foot in my mouth, let me double check. Because we have the ability to, right? That's why we do things live. Road Capture. for Android. Oh, I only see it for iOS. So that was a great question. Thank you for that. Yeah. And I'm on Rode's website, so I'm just gonna confirm that it's not for Android. So now there is another application. If you do have an Android, it's from a friend of mine. She is not hers. She works for the company, and it's called Camo. Camo. And the way Camo works with Android devices is that you install it onto your phone. It's an application. And once that application is installed, then you will also install another application, kind of like the transmitter and the receiver. And the receiving aspect is your computer where you're going to be utilizing it. So you download the Camo like capture program on your computer, open up your application Camo, which I've used on the iPhone, so I know it works just the same, but I am also sure that it works for that they do have an Android version of it, and then you'd be able to transmit it. But if your Android has NDI, which I wish I can give you more information on this because it's been a long time. I haven't messed with Androids, but if they do have an NDI feature where they can transmit it similar to like the Rode app, where you could just turn it on, or if there's an NDI application that you can install in there, then Ecamm will be able to recognize it the same way, and it just doesn't care as long as it has that protocol to actually communicate. It recognizes NDI cameras. That's it. And that's how easy it is. And I just demonstrated how easy it is for Ecamm to just recognize it, even if it gets added on the fly, like I did the floating camera. But man, I tell you the truth, I've recorded with the iPhone so many times, and having that workflow of recording it on the phone and then transferring it, and like to do it in Ecamm and then be right into Final Cut Pro and have multiple angles of iPhone footage and the best audio onto them, because I have, man, I'm like, that's I just thought of that. I'm like, man, that's such a good idea. That is such a good idea. Yeah, and I'm looking at this right now and I'm like, I'm really impressed with the iPhone image. Like, no complaints. Like I man, this looks really good. Like, and it's easy. That's the most important thing about doing this. So if you're someone who's not into getting into the nitty gritty of like the camera specs and shutter angles and all of this stuff, man, like keep it basic. Use your phone or a phone that you have, maybe lying around. This is just, technology has come such a long way. It is really, really impressive. Let's see here. I've lost my Ecamm. Okay, Mookie says the film canister should be in front of you to your left. Okay, so Mookie, you get the point, sir, because it is right next to both of my articulating arms, right in front of me, just off to my left. So just let me get to that shot. All right, camera C. So we're looking at here, right? We have my setup. Actually, you know what? Let me go back to the producer cam. Yep. And there we have it. I can't show you any better than that. We have articulating arms right in front of me. This is the camera that we're using. Articulating arm 1 and 2. And there is the film canister. So you get the point, Mr. Mookie. Absolutely. Man, I think I might be keeping a camera like that floating, just to do these scavenger hunts, because I think that's gonna be the best way to demonstrate it, even better than trying to circle things out, because that was the next step. But guys, you know what? Something else that I wanted to mention, because it's snuck up on me, and I guess on all of us, because I haven't been mentioning it, but I believe next week, next Saturday, we would be doing episode 262 of the Camera Junkie live stream, which is 5 years consecutively every single Saturday of this live stream, which is, let's go. That is an amazing achievement. There's been a lot of things in my life that have changed, and ups and downs, and a lot of things, even as of late, that have flipped my life upside down. And yet every single week I've been able to get on here and go live with you amazing people, which is an amazing feat. So that's a milestone that I will cherish forever. And I can't believe next week will be 5 years of the Camera Junkie live stream. And I'm going to be putting max effort in everything that I do. So let's see if this push could be the change that I want to see within the community and the channel and everything like that. So I'm shooting for exponential growth from this point forward, and that's it. And no excuses, just results. So if you haven't done so already, please make sure to subscribe so you can follow along on this journey, because we're about to do big things. So that's the way that I see it. All right, let's go back to the comments over here. So Mookie, point well earned. Gretchen isn't here, so take advantage. You understand? We got Mulain in the house. How are you doing? Says happy late Turkey Day. Yeah, that's very true. I wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving last Saturday, but let me know how it went. Hopefully smooth sailings and you just get to spend time with the family. In all sincerity, I told you I was going to be visiting my sister. Ended up just hanging out here at the house with my most immediate family. My sister didn't have her children. She, baby daddy stuff. Excuse me. So in that, her husband, she went to go partake with that side of the family. So I was just like, okay. And I'm not a big cook myself to make anything extravagant. So we just had a low key Thanksgiving. We had some people stop by to visit my father, but that's how we spent Thanksgiving. And it was nice and chill. And I just hung out with Aiden and basically just like took a break. So it was really cool. And I hope that all of you guys got to partake and enjoy with your family just the same. It says, what's the road app name? That is the Road Capture. Captural. Capture. Road Capture, and it's on iOS. Hey, Randy's in the house. Says my iPhone is great for mobile camera. Absolutely. So they finally got a point. Hello to all. We're having a conversation, but I'm missing it. Everybody's saying hi to each other, and this is what I'm telling you. If you want to be part of this conversation, you need to be here live. And if you want me to make sure that I read your chat, we also do the super chats. So that's to make sure. But yes, Mulaing, I will say hi to Aiden. I will. All right, so let's see what we've done. All right, a new thing, right? Which was last week. We also talked about Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So I would love to hear from you guys what it is that you guys picked up, if anything, on this Black Friday and Black Friday specials. And I want to share some of the things that I did, because I kind of splurged. I did more than I normally do, which is not a lot, because I kind of don't wait for Black Friday specials to get the things that I want, right? I save up for them, and when I can, I pick them up. But there was just certain deals that I could not pass up and just kind of popped up out of nowhere. One of these deals was the piece that you see behind me here, which I am super, super, super happy. So let me go ahead to the secondary shot over here. Shot number C, which is this bad boy right here, the Husky toolbox on wheels, the big desk. What do they call it? A multi something station. Not really too worried about it, but I'm super ecstatic about it because it was exactly what I wanted, but it was exactly what I needed because this thing has done a job and a half. So, for example, I've been able to unload all of my photography things here. So you can see that the majority of my lenses are here, but then all of the others that I had basically all over my desk and all of these other places, I just still hadn't found a home for it. And now they all live in the top drawer over here. And a lot of other things have happened because the drawers that I've had before that were filled with camera things, I was able to transport them and move them into this. Actually, let me move the microphone. Might be able to see it a little bit better. Yep. And right here, as you can see, I just already got this top shelf loaded up with the things that didn't fit in the smaller shelves. But I have like all of my vintage M42 lenses are in here, filters, cages, all of the things that would normally be in my doom boxes everywhere are now sitting right here in this. And I was just so impressed how much I was able to like put into it because I basically unloaded all of the hardware into this box. Now, it was so much that one of the bigger shelves over here, actually, you know what? Let's go back to the wireless camera. There we go. The big shelf over here, I was able to load up all of my PLA filaments. So right now, like even that just amazed me of how many things I was able to fit into. Let me move this shit. So I got all my filaments in here, right? Or all of my extras. And then we'll just continue. You know what? I'm gonna move the microphone even closer if I can. What's up? That works. Okay. So the microphone sounds a lot better here. All right, let's see what's in the next drawer. Okay, I did kind of like my lights. So I got some of my extra lights, some of these microphones that I couldn't fit into the other audio drawer. And like light modifiers, right? Bowens mounts. This is one of those the reflectors, right? And like the problem with this is not a problem, it's just the only challenge that these drawers are a bit thinner, so it can't just fit everything that I want into them. Right. So that's that. This is a majority of the hardware. My handles, my mounts, my arms, right? And some extra screws, just hardware. Top drawer, we did all audio. I have microphones popping out of everywhere, all my extra cables, including my extra like bag of audio. Now I got a little lazy towards the end where I just started throwing cables on top, but right now I'm not too worried about the organization, it's just the classification. So this is a drawer for audio things, and I know that eventually I'm going to end up printing 3D grids or something to maximize the space within these drawers. But like I said, I just got this. Now let me show you the top drawer. I can show you much better now. As you can see, I fit a plethora of things in here, including like my filters, mounts, lenses, more mounts, modifiers. This is my brand new follow focus, which is right over there. That's another thing that I splurged on, but we'll get to that. Um, and yeah, so cages for my phones, for my cameras, all of this fit in here. That's what I'm telling you. Like it just continues. So now we're gonna continue over here. This is my battery and charger drawer. So now I have all of my batteries, all of the chargers that correspond to it, all of my electronic things, and some of my extra connectors here off to the side. Oh, this is just my filters. See, extra space. Some of my USB connectors, but that's just like my memory box. So this is just a box filled with all sorts of memory cards, different type of connectors, so on and so forth. So that's just like very easy. And you can see I just threw my notebook in there so that it's not on top. What do we got here? Oh, HDMI, right? HDMI connectors and my video stuff. As you can see, there's still space for it, but more than anything. And then my junk drawer. So this is where I still have not completed or organized anything else. This is where I also have built a lot of my hardware. But at the same time, I still have plenty of space so that if I don't have anything specific, I still have the ability to throw it in here instead of it just being everywhere. So the best part is the Black Friday deal that I got with it. So let's go back over here. A lot of fast talking. Okay, so these usually go for about $500. They were on sale for $300, $298. So I went and I saw it. When was it? I forgot what day it was, but it was either like Tuesday or Wednesday, like when the Black Fridays were just starting to come out. And Home Depot had it, and I saw it, and I started checking online, and it was well past midnight when I was looking at this thing, and I was like, man, okay, let me check it out. And there was one here next in the Home Depot in Coral Springs that said there were 4 available. And I said, I'm going to pick one up first thing in the morning. So in the morning time, that's exactly what I did. I went and picked that up, or attempted to, because when I went to the store, I just went to go buy it at $300. But when I got to the store, they said that there was 4 available, but there were actually none in stock. So I went on a mission to the next nearest store that said that there was 11 of these units available in stock. So it was like another 15-minute drive. I drove over there. When I got there, this was the last one in house. Online said there was 11, and this one was the last one in house. And the lady was telling me some guy just came in here and bought 4 of them on the spot. And I was like, this is incredible, right? Like, so I'm standing in front of it, but the price tag says $350. So it was $50 more expensive than what I had seen online. And I went to the lady, or the register, the lady at the register, to speak clearly. And I said, hey, can you just price match the price online? And she told me no. And I was just dumbfounded. I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, we do not price match. I'm like, I'm not asking you to price match Lowe's. Like, I'm at Home Depot, and I'm at the Home Depot website, and it's telling me it's cheaper on the website than it is in store. Like, you won't price match your website. And she was like, nope. And I looked into it, and yeah, they don't. They want to promote more online sales. So they're giving special sales online that will not be in store, which is shocking, but that's the way that they're running their business. So with this one right there in front of me, I had to like fend off other people who were looking at it. I was like, nope, this one's mine. Like, people were straight looking at it while I'm like, no. And I'm buying it on the website as we speak to get that extra discount, and put that store location, and then went to the service counter, right, and picked it up and ran right out the door with it. Like, did not let it leave my sight, because I knew that it was such a good deal that I needed to pounce on it. And it was to the point that even like 15 available within my area, and I was able to pick up the last one So the online numbers were not correct, but I was glad that I went and did my due diligence. As you can see, it's done a lot of things, but I'm going to be using it as well as my top down, right? So instead of using this top down, which I will continue to use this top down for the live streams, right? Because it's on the fly, but this has the like top, like the light countertop, which is gonna be a lot better for contrasting all of these dark camera pieces and things like that. Like I want to redo my rig junkie videos. I'm looking over here, but I want to redo my rig junkie videos on this. But that's the next step because this is what I did. I already started setting things up to test. We're all familiar with these, right? So these are the simple, like, stands that you get from the like lesser expensive, cheap type of camera light setups. And this is the one that I have set up for, like, let's say I wanted to do a backdrop on a green screen, right? It's just basically two of the stands with a bar in the middle. And that's exactly what I did. I put both of the stands on the side of this and then hung my camera off of the bar in the middle. And even though it looked amazing, it was just taking up a lot of space. And that's when I saw this, which, let's go back to that camera. So going back to this camera here, this is the bar that gets installed directly onto it, right? Let me move these lights. But as you can see that they have the bolts connected right to them, and then they have these two empty little slots right there, right? We go to the other side. And we see the same thing. We see the same thing on both sides because of the fact that this is also designed to have, excuse me, attachments that like build it out as like a full wall unit, storage system that they have available, which I think costs like close to $2,000. It's really nice, but obviously I also don't even have the space for it. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to be deconstructing these stands, and I'm going to be taking the stand part out of it, and I'm gonna once again hop onto my CAD software, and I'm gonna 3D print some fasteners that I'm gonna be able to utilize those same points there that is used to mount the rest of the system, and I'm just gonna use them to actually hold those pipes. So instead of having to have the stands there, I'm gonna have two of these poles just coming right off of the sides here, and then I'm gonna have the connecting pole where I'll be able to leave the camera there permanently, and whenever I move the cart around and move it to a different location, don't have to move the setup. The camera could just sit there permanently, or at least the camera like attachment, right? Like a ball head where I can just put on and take off the camera there to utilize it. And I'm just excited for that. So that's gonna have multi-purpose, multi-use, and just ecstatic. I'm very fortunate that I got my hands on. As you can see, I had to run around just to make sure that I got it, but I fit so many things into it, which has cleared up so much of the other things. Actually, you can see them there. These are the banker's boxes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So basically 8 banker's boxes full of things that I had in photography, camera gear that I had, organized and everything, that are now inside of this husky thing. So as far as getting rid of the boxes that I still had floating around here since the move, this has just been ideal. Like I said, it's just too good of a deal to pass up. Now, another thing that I picked up that I splurged on a little bit, you probably have already seen me walking around with it, is these new headphones. So these are the Raycon brand. I think that's Ray J's brand, right? A lot of people have endorsed it. They're always, I see them on all these like YouTube videos, and they're constantly endorsing their products. And I have never purchased anything Raycon until this one. because of the technology. Now, if you're not familiar with this, this is bone conducting technology. So it is a new form. Nothing is inside of my ear, and the speaker's not outside. It's actually just using like the cartilage and everything within my, like my body, or I guess on my face and on my head, to actually conduct the audio through it. So it's super interesting. It's a new technology. It's been around for a while, but had always been extremely expensive. And now the prices have come down, even to the point where these were at $70, I believe, with the Black Friday deal. And that's like less than half of the new AirPods Pro, which was what that I was looking to get. But the whole, in all sincerity, the way that I use them, we're not utilizing them as like the max AirPods. And that's because through my system here, one of the things that I have, which is one of my key things, is this piece of tech right here. I was talking to Jill about this last week, which is this U Green connector. So now these headphones are connected via Bluetooth to this, and this just has a standard headphone jack. So anywhere that I connected that I would be putting in a headphones as a wireless headphones, this goes in place of it, and I basically have a wired connection. Even though it's wireless, it acts like a wired connection. So when I connect my AirPods to this, the AirPods are actually not connected to any iCloud or anything like that. It's just connected to my system as a headphone, so that they don't interfere with, like trying to answer a phone call. Let's say if I were to get one on my phone, my headphones were not going to automatically like connect to them. So with all of those things in mind, I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and give these a shot, because one of the limiting factors of all AirPods is that they're small and the batteries die. So I basically had two AirPods that I was constantly rotating, so that when one would die, I would connect the other ones and let the first one charge up and just have them in rotation. But these bone conducting headphones have 13-hour battery life, so it was kind of like a no-brainer, and they've been working out for me. But one disclaimer that I wanted to like let everyone know with this new technology, which is what I wasn't expecting, is that it's using your inner ear bones as the speakers. And even though the fit itself is comfortable, your bones are not used to being like sound amplifiers. So they are going to get a little bit sore the more that you actually listen to music with them. So, for example, I can have them on all day, but if there's no sound coming through them, I am basically like 100% perfect. But if I start playing music through them, the vibrations themselves are going to start making the outer parts of my ear, or the little cartilage chunks that stick out or at the entrance of your ear, to start to hurt the same way that like your ears would hurt the first time that you would actually put in ear headphones, right? That, like there's a soreness factor, so to speak, of just getting accustomed to having that in your ear. And now I'm getting that same type of effect, but on the outside of my ear. And it's very interesting because, like I said, it's not due to the pressure or anything. It has to do with the sound. So if I'm not listening to anything at all, they disappear. But the more music that I hear, I'm still getting used to that like vibration, getting that part of my ear, I guess, like toughened up to utilize them more. But so far so good, and I'm really impressed with the technology. So this new bone conducting headphones, I'm giving them a thumbs up as of right now. So now, another thing that I picked up because it was Black Friday deals is a wireless follow focus. So something that I've been, that's been in my cart for a long time. Sure. So this is a follow focus that's like a traditional. Basically, it's a wheel, right? And when you turn it, you'll see this gear turning in response to it, so that when you have your camera set up and everything like that, and you're gonna pull focus on a manual focus cinema lens, you have that ability to do it here instead of having to just like adjust the big lens here. And it's very convenient. I used it in my setup, and I also have it as a handle where I could just lock it in there. But that's the main purpose of a follow focus setup. Now, The thing is, it works great when you have a run and gun setup like this, but more than not, like, or as of late, I've been using the red camera away from me, and it's been using a lot of the manual focus lenses. So that's why I went ahead and picked up this wireless follow focus setup, because now I have it connected to that. And let me see if I should have that available. Make sure before. Yeah, I'm gonna go to it. Back to producer mode. That's not the shot. That's the shot. Okay, pretty cool, because I wasn't expecting the iPhone to be in it. But as you can see, this is the red camera. And now I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. Oh, I have to plug it in though too. Okay, so I think we're set. So you can see I just powered up the motor that's connected to the focus gear on this lens, and now I'm able to rotate. You can see, and now the background is in focus. And I pull it back, and I put myself in focus. And I know that that sounds like ooh, but at the same time, for the type of content that I want to be creating now, especially with this camera, this is going to be ideal, because one of the things that I actually have the ability to do, not only with this camera but mostly my Sony's, is that with my iPhone I use it as a as a monitor. The word was just escaping me. So there's a application on the iPhone that gives you the ability to have complete control over my FX30, on my A7C Mark II, and all of my other Sony cameras, where I'm able to like rack focus, change aperture, and basically do everything on the electronic lenses. But I don't have that same type of control over the manual. Like, I'll be able to hit start and stop recording on that. But the one thing that I didn't have the ability to do was actually pull the focus. And I didn't want to have to be going back and forth from a spot in front of the camera to behind it, so on and so forth. So in addition to this, this is just part of what the other thing that I splurged on was, which was that I actually pulled the trigger on the Blazar Beetle set. So that's also coming as far as Black Friday. I couldn't resist on that deal, like getting like $500 off of that set. Basically, like getting a lens for free, buy two, get one free, even on sale. So I put that on the credit card as a gift to myself for Christmas, so I got ahead of time. But that's also why I picked up the follow focus, because those are all manual focus lenses, and I'll be able to set up my camera on a tripod and then pull the focus while looking at the monitor itself, and then be able to hit record basically on a setup like this, where I'll be able to connect my phone, have the follow focus, make sure that I'm in, and then hit record, and we're good to go. And I don't have to be wasting time going back and forth. So with the more cinema lenses that I'm going to be getting in the future, which I know is just a start, my first PL, as you can see right here, right? That's another reason why I grabbed this, so that I can have the ability to put these cameras back here, and then while on the live stream be able to adjust the focus on it just the same way. So just another thing that went on sale. I think this was at like 36 or 35% off discount. So that, and I think that's it. If I'm let me check myself, right? I think that was the big things that I spent on this Black Friday. So I'm investing in myself. I got the Blazar Beetle set. So that's the 32, the 45, and the 65, I think it is. But basically, it's a 24, a 35, and a 50 millimeter in anamorphic terms. And yeah, so I'm excited for that. And now I have the follow focus, so that I don't have to be jumping back and forth. I have the ability to start and stop control on my Sony cameras, and with the follow focus, I have complete control over these manual lenses. So I'm gonna have a blast testing that out. And like I said, I'm just going full on forward, and getting the things that I need and not waiting on anything else. So I was lucky that they were on sale on Black Friday, but from now on, as soon as I see a need, I'm gonna fill it just so that I can start creating more content and not allowing that to hinder me and not making that as well. So that's exactly where I'm at. Let me go ahead and check you guys' comments out once again. And if you're still hanging out, please do so. Hit the like button. It's highly appreciated. It's absolutely free. And if you haven't done so, subscribe and do all the YouTubery things. Hit the bell so that you're notified and do all of those cool, amazing things. Yeah, like Paul says, have you hit the like button? All right, so let me see what you guys are saying over here. So Mookie says, I finally got the Nikon 40mm f2 lens for my Z6 III. Nice. Congratulations on it. Yeah, and just like I was saying, I'm gonna start doing the things that I want and saying like not being modest, but investing in myself and in the channel, right? So one of these things that I just pulled the trigger on as well is that I'm gonna start I'm gonna start doing more like giveaways just because there's just a lot of gear that's building up and a lot of things that I want to do, but then I don't want to have like the things after I did it, so to speak. Like it's almost like prop. So for example, um I'm gonna be getting my hands on the Nikon ZR soon just to test out. Right, I'm just waiting on that. But before that happens, I've already ordered a cage for it, and the main reason that I did that is so that once I have it, I'll be able to throw it in the cage and then start building my rig junkie cage around it in the short time. So on top of creating content for it, I'm going to be creating products for it as well. And once I have that locked in, I don't actually need the physical camera, and I'll be leaving the STL files to be downloaded for free. But that would just be another rig junkie, camera cage kit that I'll have set up in that same way. So I already have that cage on its way, so that when I get the camera in my hands, I'll have the parts and I won't have any time to waste or wait on any time and waste any time to create the content. So that's like the plans, and these are the things that I said that I'm just starting to hit the gas. You understand? I'm not gonna like chicken foot it anymore, so to speak. And I'm just gonna invest in myself and do all of these things. But at the end of the day, I don't own the ZR camera. If I end up picking one up, hey, that'll be cool. But then at the same time, once I give that back, I'll have the ability to gift out the first ZR rig junkie kit, and those are the plans that I have in the future. So incentive, but if you haven't, those are one of the reasons why you should subscribe. If you're interested in that type of content, then make sure that you hit the bell so that you are notified of my live streams and things like that. Another thing that happened, just throwing out there, was I did an impromptu live stream for a 3D part that I created last Sunday, and most likely I'm going to be doing the same thing tomorrow, but for the mounts that I'm going to create for these for the bar, or the on top over what is it? Overhead camera setup. Running words are hard today, but that's exactly what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Okay, so Randy got a tripod and micro HDMI to HDMI adapter. Nice. Tripods are always great. I actually, also because I got through all of these boxes, I started getting through more of the things to put away, and I have like 3 tripods that I'm probably going to be doing giveaways. Those I'm probably going to do like on the local market, just anyone that's willing to pick it up. You understand? They're not expensive. What are they called? Sunpack tripods. If you know, and those are like from way back in the day of just holding much smaller photography cameras. I don't really think that I'm gonna be able to repurpose them and put utilization to them like I am with these guys over here, right? Where I'm gonna be building those for this kit. So I'm probably just gonna be putting those on the local market and giving those away. That's a nice husky bench. I have a friend who uses one in the kitchen as a movable kitchen island. That is such a good idea as well, right? There's so multifaceted. Like you can just do everything. Everybody was thinking that I'm running around Home Depot because I'm gonna put my tools in. I'm like, no, I'm putting all my photography gear. And they were like, really? I'm like, yeah. Like, I'm like, and it did so much better because at the end of the day, if I still need extra space, I have an entire drawer full of printer filament that I can put somewhere else, and I just still have extra space. So like I said, I have a junk drawer, I have one full of filament, and then space for basically everything else. I'm doing good. Yep, Mookie was already reading my mind. Says now you can 3D print some drawer dividers. Exactly. Says I would order online for pickup in store. That's the crazy thing. If I would have ordered online for the first one, there was none in store. So I would have, like, honestly, like I got lucky and I did it the best way because I was able to ensure that the part was there before I purchased it. Because if not, then I would have had to like purchase three of those $300 like, like workbenches, right? From like three different stores. Because if I would have ordered the first one online, right, the night of, it wasn't even there physically. So I would have gone to the store and then had to deal with maybe like a return or something like that. Like I'm very fortunate that I was able to get it. But upgrading with your bucks. Hi, how are you? I'm doing good. I'm not sure if that was the first time you've ever chatted, but if you have, if you can let me know your name so that I'm not calling you by your username, I'd appreciate it. But thanks for hanging out. K Wall's in the house. How you doing, Kathy? Say hey all. I've been hanging out in the background. Have a question for the camera junkies. This is her question. Selling an old camera, Canon T6. I know I can check eBay and the like, but I also want to include extra lenses and the battery that I have. What's the best resource to quote a price? To quote a price? So that you can have says I also have a softbox and a rolling C-stand and some arms in my cart. I want a mobile rig to film on my porch and by my laundry room. Okay, that's cool. Like I like the rolling C-stand part about it and everything like that. But now to get a quote, I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about. Like regardless, I'm just gonna answer it two ways. If you're looking for a quote to just like buy all of the stuff that you're doing, I highly recommend checking out a couple of different places like MPB, KEH, right? I think Gear Focus is another one, right? Like the online used stores, Adorama. Yeah, I would check those out because they have lens rentals. I think they do it as well. So yeah, you have the option to do that. If you want to know exactly like what that's going for, I would check eBay, right? So that you can give yourself a quote, right? Like I would check eBay and start searching for these things that you're trying to sell, just so that you can see what's the going price for them. Another place that I always check, which is like is gonna be like the lowest price, but it's gonna give you a more realistic selling price, is OfferUp, that I've used for so many years now, actually. And yeah, so I would recommend that if you're looking to get a price. I would like check OfferUp and see like what that camera is being sold for nationwide, so that you can get a good idea of what that the value of the camera is, and then start comparing online retailers like KEH, MPB, and things like that, if that's what you're looking for a quote. Now if you're just looking for a quote like CarMax, then that's when you go to the online realtors. And yeah, and they're probably good. They have a couple of different ways they can give you a general like quote, but the quote is always going to be determined by them checking the product. And just to let you know, like the online use sites, oh, Aiden's here. The online use sites, those are usually like, I've heard some negative stories from it as well when it comes to the selling. Like there are some times where they give you an extra 10 or 15%, right? On top of it, because they need products to sell. So depending on that, and maybe right now at Black Friday they sold a lot of things that you could get a good deal on the things that you're okay. I got Aiden here, so I gotta do some dad things. I'm gonna be right back, but I would definitely check um yeah, check the online realtors to see what quote. But I will be right back. All right, dad duties. But hopefully I got that information out to you, K-Wall, because I think that that's like what I would do. I think the best price that you can get if you're willing to do it is like Facebook Marketplace. There are some groups that you can get into, right? And you can get into like a Canon group that's like buy, sell, trade of Canon cameras and things like that. And there's a bunch of them on Facebook, which is just another way that you can do it. And usually that's you're gonna tend to get like the best results. They have certain rules to protect both the buyer and the seller. Certain parameters where you have to like put all of your gear in a picture with like almost like a ransom note, like time and date, like just to make sure that like everything is still relevant and that you're not looking at a picture of a product that was put up for sale like a year ago and is no longer available. So a lot of things like that, but there are options. I do like the hustle and bustle of OfferUp, right? And that's what allows me to get really good deals because I make it convenient for the seller, right? So I take the brunt of a lot of like the painful aspects of this. So let's say I see a camera that I'm interested in, it's at a good price, but I want to get it at an even better price. Then I'll start giving them like just the options of like what I'm available to do. So let's say we're a bit of a distance. I just say, hey, you name the time, the place, like this, like that. I'm a serious buyer, right? So I'm not trying to I'm not gonna like flake on you, so to speak, which is one of the biggest things I go. So if you meet me at my price, like no questions asked, just as long as the camera works the way that you say it does, I'll pick it up. And not only that, like it's a used product, so it's not like I can go back and claim a warranty, which is the bad thing about it. So definitely do your due diligence if you're going to purchase things that way. But then also for me, I've bought in things that have been broken, gotten them at a cheap price because I have the ability to fix them myself. And with that, I get a lot of gains and purchased a lot of cool things that I benefited from just because I have the ability to do that. So to each his own, but that's the only thing that I would do. But like I said, I'm big on the like Facebook marketplaces and things like that. I make it convenient for the buyer, so I kind of take all the brunt work of traveling and doing everything and make it convenient on their timeline, which allows me to get a lot of good deals and a lot of good discounts. Like my laptop here, like I picked this laptop up. Here, let's check camera 2. Can you see it? Yep. My MacBook Air over here, I picked this up on a Facebook Marketplace deal, and I bought it, and this is years ago already, for $300 flat. And when did I get it? Oh, when the new model, when the Air M1, no, the M2 Air came out, it was one of those. You understand? Because this is the M1 models, but the new MacBook Air with the thinner design and everything, the square one, came out. That person just wanted to get the new one. They were like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy the new one. I used to work for Apple, so I know like this. It's in perfect condition." And gave it to me with the case and everything. $300. I was like, "Bro, $300. Just tell me when, where to meet you. Like, no questions asked." It was super super easy. Met him in Miami, 163rd Street Mall. I think it was in front of a Sprint store. $300. I cashed out them the money. best investment. Like I said, there's a lot of good deals. So if you're willing to do the legwork, you can get yourself a really good deal there. So that's all I can say about that. Bam. All right. Oh, you got a lot of comments. Okay. So she says, I need to sell the Canon so I could buy the stuff that I need. My SRO at the school wants to buy it. I just want to give them a fair price. Okay, so if you want to give them a fair price, then I would just do my own little like research. I would check MPB, right? And all those things to get quotes, but I would mostly check like OfferUp to see what they're going for so you can give them the most realistic price that they can find if they were to go get this stuff on their own, through an OfferUp or an eBay or anything like that. Says I still have my M50 in those old film cameras. So Aiden knows when it's supposed to end. He's letting you know it's past 11. Yes, he is. He's like, yo, it is time. That's so funny, but you're right. You're very right. Says but for content, I've been using the ZV-1 and the Osmo. So yes, thanks for the info. I have a buyer. I just wanted to give him a fair price. Okay, perfect. Then you're in that right. I would just check those things out. If you want to give them the fairest price, I would check like the OfferUp and the eBay's, things like that. Um, that's gonna be the best deal that someone can get on these types of products. So that price range is gonna be the fairest price on the market because that is like what people are really gonna pay for it. Like when I wanted to get a deal on it, people will be like, "Oh, this camera is selling for this on eBay." I go, "Yeah, that's on eBay." And if the camera doesn't work, I get to return it because eBay has a return policy. Like OfferUp does not have that. Facebook Marketplace does not have that. So taking on that risk is why I feel that you are able to negotiate and get a better price for these items. So I think that's the most realist, fairest price that you can get. And if you go based on that, I think you're going to be giving your friend the best deal, where it's fair for everyone, all the parties involved. But yes, now I don't have snap decisions. I forgot to ask Chad for any questions, but I'm also not going to prolong it. One thing that I did do that I did want to share with you guys is bam, City's got channels that I think you should go and watch. Oh, let me see if I even have a camera set up for this. Let me go ahead and see if. Oh, yes, it took the right one. All right, perfect. So, City's God, this week, I want to share with you because this is a channel that I found recently. And as soon as I saw the first video, I was like, subscribe. Now, this is more of an entertainment, like, there is some educational aspects behind it, but if I would tell you what can you learn from this is how to make amazing content, because Ermia Ramez, I think I'm saying that correct, is basically a collaboration. Now this YouTube channel, the character that you're seeing on there is female, but it's very interesting because the couple of videos that I've seen, there's no talking. So this person is not even speaking. They're just illustrating. And that's what has captured me about this page that I wanted to share with you guys. So this is cinema, like, or damn near close to it in YouTube form. And I was just captured by it. So I believe this Ermia person, the one that we're seeing here, he's the one doing the voiceover. So you're listening to this person's voice throughout all of the videos that I've been able to watch. And then the character that you see, the female, she's just playing the part. And it's almost like silent movie from her aspect. You're just hearing a voiceover narration, and it is done so well that it's taken like a style of its own. And I found it here on this channel. So I would highly recommend you check them out. As you can see, they are talking about camera things. That's why I think I'm like so enamored with this, because there is that educational aspect. But as you can see, they're talking about story, they're talking about film, cameras, and everything. This is just like a plethora of information in the most entertaining form. So if you haven't found this channel, they're a bit popular. You understand, they have quite a bit of following already, right? But let me be the one to introduce you to this week's City's Gone channels that I think you should go and watch. Ermia Ramez, YouTube channel. Definitely go check it out. I think you're gonna enjoy it, and let me know if you do. Write it down in the comments if you're watching this on the replay and saying like, absolutely love this channel, or is the first time that you've heard of them. Let me know either way. So that, yeah, that's this week's Cities God channels that I think you should go and watch. I think I found them just like about a month ago, or maybe not even, and just I was, like I said, I was just blown away. Even after the first video, I was like, that was so well done, that deserves my subscribe, just to see what's coming up next. And when I found it, like got to the channel, I saw that there was so much content. I was like, amazing. So well done. Each video is so well scripted. It's, like I said, it's the closest to cinema that I think you could find on YouTube form right now. So that's this week's Cities God channels that I think you should go and watch. All right, and that is it. You are right, Kathy. She says, I'm lucky that I'm near a major city. Yes, and not only a major city, but a major content creation city. Like South Florida, Miami, it's like Hollywood East or Southeast, right? There's so many films that are being shot over here. So many people coming to this area to become content creators. And that's something that I did take advantage of. I can't tell you how many cameras I picked up on the used market from people. And when I would ask them, like, why are you selling this amazing piece of gear for so cheap? They'll be like, oh, well, I wanted to start YouTube and I started doing it. And then I realized that it was hard and that it wasn't easy and that it was actually work. So I wasn't interested in doing work. So now I'm selling the camera. And I'm like, thank you. Because I got a lot of great deals throughout the years of content creators in South Florida who just straight up quit. And hey, their loss, my gain. And you can do that for yourself just the same way. But that's it, guys. We did it. This was an iPhone stream. We have 1, 2, 3, and oh, I switched to the wrong camera, did I? Yeah. Let me see if I still have. Oh, it looks like this one died. I shut it off. Let me see. I gotta show you the fourth. Is it gonna pick it up? There it is. And camera number 4. There it is. You know, vlog style, handheld. What more can you ask for? Four iPhone cameras connected on one live stream. And I hope you enjoyed it. So that's it. We completed it. Guys, this was episode 261. And if you're wondering what that is, that's 261 consecutive weeks of the Camera Junkie live stream every single Saturday night without skipping a beat. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe. Send yourself a calendar reminder, right? Hey Siri, remind me that at 10 p.m. on Saturday, Mr. Camera Junkie is going to go live for episode 262, and that will complete an exact 5 years of the Camera Junkie live stream. 5 years of consecutive live streaming every single week, and I couldn't do it without all of you amazing people. So thank you as always for hanging out here, taking the time, and making this my favorite place to be week in, week out. You guys rock. You guys are the best, and I can't wait to see all of your smiling faces while we do it all over again right here, same time, same place, on the Mr. Camera Junkie YouTube channel. So until then, take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all next time. Talk to you.